Hi everybody, this is Ellen. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this adorable happy candy cane. Christmas is right around the corner for us, so I thought maybe get a little bit of a head start so I'm not squeezing in at the end, but also just because I just figured out how to make it and I thought that it looked fabulous. This design does not have anything inside of it to make it stay in this shape, it just stays in that shape with the correct banding. So I think that's really awesome. There are a few transition rows and half rows, but it's not super horrible. It's going to take a little bit to kind of get through the curve part, but hopefully it won't be too long for you. But it turns out super cute. This little holly leaf I just added on afterwards. I will show how to make that at the end of the video if you want to stick around to watch that. So keep that in mind. And then the size of this is a little bit bigger than the other Happy Foods that I've been making. It's about maybe an inch, well, not a whole lot, but about maybe a half inch longer than the other Happy Foods, kind of size-wise, but Christmas is usually a special time, so we kind of make a little exception, but band-wise it isn't too far off from what the Happy Foods have been using those, so it was 220 red for the candy cane, and then 184 white for the other parts. Then the 2 cheek bands, and then depending on what you did for the eyes, it could be 1 to 3 black bands. I'm going to use the 4x7mm pony beads. And then this holly leaf, I used 25 green bands and 10 red bands. Although this time I'm going to use some burgundy or fuchsia bands there instead. But so I'm going to make it exactly like this, except for just a color change on the beads right here in the cheeks, or the holly berries and the cheeks. So if you want to make this a different color or different colors, you'll have to kind of see as we go around here, but like the face I have on a red rose, so just kind of keep that in mind. So I'm going to use the red bands when I show you how to make the eyes and the cheeks and stuff. So we'll get started. So eyes and cheeks, you could use the beads if you have them. I'm going to use the 4x7mm pony beads again. You want to find a piece of craft wire or twist tie, string, thread, floss, anything you can get into a V shape. Take 2 bands, put it down into the center, close it up, and then thread it through the center of your bead. And pull that down to the middle. Take out your tool, and you have a beaded eye band. So you'd have to make 2 of these for the eyes. If you don't have beads or don't want to use beads, you can still use just a wrapped band for them. So it's just the band, put it on your hook, wrap it around one time into a figure 8, grab both bands, wrap it around again, and then pull through 2 red bands. Like that. So if you wanted to have the wrapped band eye bands, you would need 2 of these. So cheeks are made the same way as the eyes. I'm going to use the neon green from Rainbow Loom here. I'm going to put it on the hook, wrap it around one time, grab both bands, wrap them around again, and then pull through 2 bands, or 2 red bands. Like so. Like that. So you need 2 of those as well. And of course we are made on one loom. Like so. I do have a little, if I end up showing this later and you're like, what is that? I didn't see that. This is just one of the holly leaves because I'm just going to show how to make one of them and then how to connect them. So, but we're only working on 6 pins, and you're going to want red and your white or whatever colors you're going to use. More than that. And first we're going to start by making a, doesn't really matter where, you can put them right on the end if you want, but I'm going to work up a little bit. But this is going to be double banded and we're just going to make a little starburst. So from picking a pin in the center, you're going to go around to the 6 pins around. And this is 2 bands all the way out. I don't know if I said it or not, but this might take a little while to do all of this just because of the transition rows and some half rows, but it's not horrible, so I think it's super cute. totally worth it. So once you have this pattern, take 2 bands and wrap them around the center 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. And you'll take your hook, go in through that center cap band we just put on, grab the top 2 bands, and pull them back towards themselves, and then do that all the way around your kind of starburst here. Like that. Push your bands down. So, red again, we're going to do a row all the way around with 2 bands. So just start and go around. Oops. Like that. And what you can do is take your hook and flip over the bottom 4 bands all the way around. Like that. Then push your bands down. So now we're going to do a transition row. It's not quite as bad because we don't have as many, because usually my designs are a little larger around, but you can make them either on your fingers or on your loom. To make them on your fingers, it's just kind of laying them on top of each other, and I usually kind of grab I'd grab the red one through the white one in the front, and then I come and grab the white one from behind, and like if you're going to pull tight you get a knot, but what you're actually going to do is kind of fold them in half. So you end up with a half and half band. And then we would have the red side of it facing towards the inside. And if you actually take the band and pull it towards the inside so that more of the white is covering the outside of the pins, that'll help get rid of any of the little bumps in there. But like I said, I think I barely noticed them, but just want to point it out so in case you're done and you're like, oh my gosh, what is that? I'll show you again real quick on your fingers too. It could just be a matter of if you slide a band through and then you fold, I'm going to fold the red one around the white one. Like that. If I grab the white, just kind of pull it out, grab both sides, and then I have the same thing too. Then that goes on, so it's facing towards, the red's facing towards the middle. And if it's still hard for you that way, you can always do it on the loom. Doesn't matter what color you put first, but just take your 2 bands and lay them on the loom right after another. Like that. So whichever one is on top, you're going to go through that one, grab the bottom one, make sure you hold this other one down, pull it back towards itself. So you have kind of this long, one band is wrapped around a long one. Then go in through the little spot right here next to the wrap band. Grab the white one and I'm pulling it up. And then just hang on to it. And this would be the same thing that I've been making on my fingers. And that goes on this way too. So we're going to do that all the way around. And just have the red towards the middle. Like so. So we're going to go ahead and flip the bottom 4 over the top all the way around. Like that. So push your bands down. Our next row is going to be what I'm calling a half row. And a half row is going to be a single band right here, then 2 bands, 2 bands, 2 bands, and then another single band right here. There won't be anything in this spot right here. And then when we loop, we only loop these 4 over here. We don't actually loop anything right here. So when I do the half rows, I'll definitely explain again what I mean by that as we keep going, but just so I kind of give you a little bit better in-depth explanation now. And the half rows will either be white or red, so it can vary, but for this row it is white. So single band right here, and then 2 bands, 2 bands, 2 bands, and a single band, like that. Now for flipping over, we're only going to flip over these 4 pins on the right side here. We're not going to flip over these 2 pins at all. So coming up through, grab the top one, and this one over here, and this one. So now you should have the 4, there'll be 3 left up here, 4 on these 2 pins, and then 3 down here left. And then these, we have our single bands coming onto these 2, but we didn't do anything there. And we're going to do another row just like that right on top with white. So single band, double band, double band, double band, and single. And again, just flip these 4 on the right side. So there'll be 3 here, 4 over here, 4 here, and 3 up here. So go ahead and push those down. You're probably going to want to go in here and grab that cap band and start pulling it up off the pin now, so we don't want it to get stuck on there. As we go, just pull it up a little bit. Now we're going to do around is a transition row. So again, make your transition bands. And we're going to go all the way around the entire circle, and we're going to have the white towards the inside. Like that. And we're going to go all the way around. Like that. So white on the inside, red on the outside. So now we're going to flip over everything, or we're going to flip over on all 6 pins this time. For these over here where we didn't flip before, you're going to have 6 bands to flip over. The 2 single bands from the last couple rows, and then the bottom 4. So all those are going over. And on this pin it'll be the 3, or no, 4 now. Nope, I was right, 3, 4, 4, and then 3 again up here. The light was playing tricks on me. Then push your bands down. So I'm going to do a half row again. This time it's going to be red. So start with a single here, then double, 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 and single. And again, we're just going to flip the bands on these 4 pins on the right. So there'll be 4 down here, 4 right here, 4 here, and then 4 up here. And push your bands down. And we're going to do another row just like that. Red again, single, double, double, double again, and a single. Like that. I will say that we're going to keep repeating this pattern, and as we go along, especially if I'm getting ahead of you, which I apologize for. In total, we have it'll be 8 kind of half row type deals. So that was where we started with the red and the starburst, and then we go around until we have maybe 7 more, I guess. So try and leave this in the picture so you can compare it to where we are. So we had the first half row that's on there, and then we laid another one on top. So again, flip over the bottom 3, 4, 4, and 3 on just these 4 pins. And I flipped over an extra one here. It's because I forgot. Make sure I flip over the right amount. Like so. So 3, 4, 4, and 3. Push your bands down. Now that transition row all the way around, and this time we're going to have the red towards the inside. So white on the outside, red towards the inside. Christmas is actually one of my favorite holidays, and mainly the reason is that I like the lights. I like all the bright colors and the lights, and just everything is always so shiny, and of course the food doesn't hurt either, because there's a lot of good food going on around Christmas time. So like that, red in the middle, white on the outside. So we're going to flip the bands all the way around. Again, on these pins here on the left, there will be the 6 bands to go over. And 3 right here. 4, 4, and 3. And keep pulling this up as we go along. So our next row is white, half rows, single, double, double, double again, and single. So again, flip the 4 on this side only. 4 pins on this side only. Of course, I think all my kids, of course, they love Christmas because of, well, the food and the presents, of course. Although a few years back I did make them kind of mad because we're going to do another white row, half row, single, double, 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 and single, just like before. Because I had instilled a, basically, they had, if they wanted to decorate the Christmas tree, they needed to make what they were putting on there. I can tell you that our first year our Christmas tree was pretty bare. So, flip the 4 on the left, or on the right side only. And I found that because they were, everybody felt a lot of times that Christmas kind of loses its family originated ideals, I guess. You want to spend the holidays with your family and friends, and it's kind of turned more into a marketing. All the way around, transition rows, and we're going to have the white towards the inside. It seemed like Christmas had turned into more, what can I get and how much can it cost, and kind of lost some of the family orientation to it. So I wanted to have some togetherness, and so I decided that to decorate the tree they had to make their ornaments to put on, which gave me keepsakes, of course, which I love having, but also just because it brought us together to do and make something together. First year they were definitely reluctant, but now that it's been a few years, they're definitely more on board and have come up with some super creative ideas on what to do. Usually it involves doing something with the lights, because I do still, of course, have lights on the tree, but just not the hand or the store-bought ornaments. We'll make ornaments. It's kind of cool. It's all the way around, and our red is on the outside, white is on the inside. So if you want to look to kind of see if you're where I am, red, white, red, and then there's the white row. We've completed pretty much, but we're on the transition row into the red. So then all the way around you're going to flip the bottom bands, 3, 4, 4, 3, and then on these ones again it's the 6. So oh, that doesn't sound awful that I made them not decorate the Christmas tree with stuff where I forced them to. It just seemed like Christmas today, I mean, with Halloween wasn't even over, or it's, you know, before Halloween was even over, they already have Christmas stuff on the shelves, and it's like Thanksgiving hasn't even been discussed, and it's crazy how it gets ahead. So now we're going to do a half row of the red, so the single band, and double, 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 and single again. Like that, and then flip the 4 bands on the 4 pins on the right. Push the bands down. We're going to do another row just like that with the red again. Single first, doubles, and a single. Only I can make a candy cane so complicated, right? So again, flip the bands on just the 4 pins on the right. Push your bands down. So we're going to do a transition row all the way around, red and white. And we're going to want the red towards the inside and the white towards the outside. all the way around to the transition rows, red towards the inside and white towards the outside. Again, we're going to go around and flip over all the bands underneath the top 4. So 6 on these, 3, 3, 2, and 2, or 4 and 4. The first year I said my oldest son was kind of reluctant, and he was just like, I just want to put the regular ornaments on. We have them. Second year, I think he was testing me because he took tuna cans and he drilled a little hole in them, put a string through them, and then put them on the tree. And he said that they were our bulb ornaments or something like that, and he thought it was funny. I agreed. I guess it was creative. So next row is the white, so the half row again, single band, double, 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 like that, and then flip over the 4 bands on the right. I think when I thought of it, I was like, oh, that's really neat. He's going to do tuna can ornaments. He'll decorate them a little bit, you know, put some glitter or felt or something on it just to put something on it. But it was just the tin cans. I mean, he took the labels off and he washed them and all that stuff, but he was just like, drilled a hole in them, and he's like, there we go. They're awesome. They reflect the light. We're good. It's like, alright, kiddo. You're a smart one. You win this time. So now we're going to do another half row again. Single, double, and the single. So now I think he's just going to keep pushing every year for the more creative he can get without actually like being girly and making something. So single, double, 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 and single, and flip over the bands on the 4 right pins again. Because as much as I'm into crafting, he is that much not into crafting. So I appreciate that he gives it a try though. So like that. We're getting there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're right here. We're getting there. Hang in there. Because once we get around the corner here, it's a lot easier. We've done the half rows and things like that. So we still have transition rows, but no half rows, so it's good. So now we're going to do the transition row again, all the way around, with the white towards the inside and the red towards the outside. Because I say he's going to test me, it's because the year after that, he was going to use fishing lures, hooks removed of course, and hang those up on the tree. But I kind of had to draw the line on that one because they smelled fishy for one, and we have cats who would eat them, so that was probably not going to work. And I was like, my final argument was that, well, you can't really see them though because they kind of blend into the tree, so you have to figure out a way to make them all pretty, that way they can kind of stand out. So I would have won with my glitter argument, but ultimately I guess it was because I didn't want the cats trying to eat them. That would be bad. He's a smart kid. Oops. Let's put that one on the right way. There we go. White towards the inside, red towards the outside. So then flip the bands all the way around again. Same thing as before. Six on these ones. Just trying to move the band over a little bit. 3, 4, 4, and 3. And push your bands down. Now we do the red half rows. So a single band, and then double band, double band, double band, and single. Then flip over the bands on the 4 pins on the right again. Push your bands down. Alright, another half row in the red. So single band, double, 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 and single. Then flip over the 4 on these pins. And push your bands down. Looks pretty cool. Now we'll do the transition row all the way around with the transition bands. This time red will be towards the inside and white will be toward the outside. I was thinking about the holidays too, that almost everybody, you get geared up and ready for Halloween, think of your costume and try and figure out what you're going to make and wear. And then for Christmas you start thinking about your lists and what you're going to do and what things are going to look like, and then there's poor little Thanksgiving right in between all of them, of course US holidays wise. And it's like it kind of gets bypassed. It's like a little afterthought, like they don't really have Thanksgiving stuff, it's fall stuff, but that all seems to go by the wayside very quickly. So all the way around we did the transition row, and we have the red towards the inside and white towards the outside. So again, flip over all the bands underneath. And it'll be that one's way off. Be the 6 on the pins over here on the left side. And 3, 4, 4, and 3. Push your bands down. Now we'll do the 2 half rows for the white. So start with a single, double, double, that's a bad band, double, and single. Then again, flip over the bands, flip over the bands on these 4 pins. A little tongue-tied there for a second. And I probably won't be able to edit that out very well, unfortunately. So pardon me for being weird. Like that. Push the bands down. Do the next half row in the white. So single, double, double, another double, and a single. And again, flip over the bands on these 4 pins. Push your bands down. So now we have right up until this point right here on our loom. So we're going to do that transition row, and then we're going to start with the face. So we're getting there. Super cute. So transition row of the white towards the inside, red towards the outside. That'll be all the way around. Just gotta bend this out of the way if I need to. And it'll just fall right back, but lost it. There we go. Like so. So red on the outside and white into the middle. So again, flip the bands all the way around. Be the 6 underneath on the left side pins. And 3, 4, 4, and 3. So go ahead and push your bands down. So now we're going to do the eye row. We'll put the eyes right here on these pins here. And the next set right next to it. I don't pull the bands out. Like that. Then it's just going to be 2 red bands all the way around. Like that, so everything is doubled on this row, and then we have the eyes right here in the front. So go ahead and flip over the bottom bands, leaving just the top 4 all the way around. Like that. Next row is our cheek row. So you want your cheeks. They'll go right where we have the eyes. Like that. And then 2 bands all the way around the rest of it. Like so. So you flip over the bottom bands, bottom 4 bands, and leave the top 4 all the way around. So, push your bands down. Now you'll want your mouth. So use one wrapped band, put on your hook, wrap it around one time into that figure 8. And then, I'm going to turn this around here. In the front here, between the cheeks and the eyes, the bands that are on this pin, you're going to grab them, pull them up, slide down your mouth band, and then the bands that are on your hook, you're going to put them right back onto the pin you took them off. So it looks like that. So now we have a transition row to do. So now we're right below the face there. So the red will go towards the inside and white will go towards the outside. And it'll be like that all the way around. Like so. Red on the inside, white on the outside. So I'll go ahead and flip over the bottom 4 all the way around. So, push your bands down. Now we'll do white row, 2 bands all the way around. Like that. Flip over the bottom 4. Like so. Push your band down. And we'll do another row, 2 bands all the way around. These are white. I guess I did not specify that this time. Like that. Then again, flip the bottom 4. Push your bands down. Now we'll do that transition row again, all the way around. White will be towards the center. like that. Red around the outside, white in the center. Flip over the bottom 4 bands all the way around. Next 2, push your bands down. Now we'll do the red rows. So it'll be 2 bands all the way around. Next 2. Flip over the bottom 4. That. Push your bands down. Another row all the way around with 2 bands. We're back to Christmas and the beautiful lights. We have a local organization that always decorates up one of the bigger parks in the area. And you get to drive through or walk through, and they usually have Santa and reindeer and hot chocolate and things like that. It's like that all the way around. And flip the bottom 4. And you get your picture taken. But they usually go, or they, not usually, they do go all out super crazy with decorating with lights. I mean, a lot of the stuff doesn't necessarily have anything to do with Christmas, but pretty neat stuff. Like they had a fire-breathing dragon that was made out of Christmas lights. So I thought that was pretty impressive, and the kids of course love it, and they're like, oh my god. Next row is our transition row again, so the red and white together. Red will go towards the inside and white will go towards the outside. We'll have kind of little light tunnels that you're driving through, and trying to think, we had a big boat the year before. We're not too far away from the Mississippi River, so they have the paddle boat that's all decked out in Christmas lights, which is really neat to see. And they have, of course, a lot of the organizations locally, they have their own Christmas tree that they decorate, and then usually they decorate it with whatever their message is. Whether it be veterans or something like that, it'll be decorated that way. So transition all the way around, red in the center and white on the outside. So then you flip the bottom 4 all the way around again. Of course, every year that we've managed to go, it's usually bitterly cold, which is kind of stinky, but dress up real warm and make sure to get the hot chocolate, and the kids can usually last through enough of it to be worth the drive, because that one's not locally. This next row is 2 bands all the way around in the white. It's down by where I used to live. That's probably why I still torture my family to go down that way, because it's a little bit of a drive for just some lights. So like that. Flip over the bottom 4 all the way around. They also have a horse-drawn carriage, so they'll take you through the park too, which is kind of neat. Definitely cold, but I do live in the Wisconsin area, so we're used to the cold winters. Or at least that's what they tell me anyways. So like that. Another row around in the white with 2 bands. It's funny because I was born in the Midwest and used to the cold winters and the snow and all that good stuff. So like that. Split the bottom 4. My husband, however, was born in Florida and prefers the warmth and sun and no snow. Every year it's kind of like just waiting for the snow to come back around, and it's kind of funny actually. But so we're going to do our last transition row all the way around, white towards the center and red towards the outside. He would like to move back that way at some point, or I don't know. I think I'd miss my snow, even though I'm not a super huge fan of like the super cold temperatures, but I definitely prefer layering up in clothes and a blanket and cuddling on the couch or whatever with a good book, and then being so hot I'm sweating and it's definitely, I don't know how you guys do it who live in the warmer states, but I guess just get used to it. So red on the outside, white in the center. And then flip the bottom 4 all the way around. I visited Virginia a few years back and oh, it was hot. Very hot. Of course it was a dry heat, so it wasn't so bad. It wasn't humid. If it was humid it would have been horrible, but looking pretty good. So 2 bands all the way around in the red. I said maybe we'll compromise and we could be winter birds and go down there for this some of the winter. So 2 bands all the way around, so flip the bottom 4. That one's a little off. Like that. One more row of 2 bands all the way around. I don't think we'll be moving anywhere till the kids are out of school, because I know I had to move as a child out of the school that I went to, and it's no fun. You get used to your friends. So you can flip the bottom 4 all the way around again. It's no fun starting over and making new friends when you move from, well, state to state in my case, but definitely don't want to do that to my kids. Push your bands down. So now what we're going to do is, that was our last row, so now you're going to go and flip over the bottom 2 bands. Make sure that they are the bottom 2. When you flip them over, you should be able to see that they're kind of wrapped around the bands that are left on there. And you can just let them go. But if you pick the wrong ones, you'll kind of know right away because they'll start to kind of slip off. The bottom 2 bands flip over the top 2. Like that. Push your bands down so they stay down until you get around to them. I'm just going to take my hook. I'm going to start on kind of the back side here. Go in and hook the bands on the pin. And just go around the bottom of my candy cane. Like that. I'm going to take 2 bands and pull them through. Both ends on my hook. I'm going to kind of flatten this out before I get it too tight. I'm going to spread it out. And then go ahead and pull tight. Then you want to hide your tail. Just stick your hook up through the back side. Grab those 2 bands and pull them in. Of course, don't want to pull them up so far. Give it a little stretch. Sweet. Hopefully that wasn't too horrible. That wasn't actually as long as I thought it would be, I don't think. Although I don't remember how many, if I paused too many times in there, so. Super awesome. I think they're adorable and perfect, and because they don't have anything to make them keep their shape, I think that's so awesome. So if you want to make the holly leaf, I'll show you how to make that real quick. You have to make 2 holly leaves. I made 1 already, and I put it on my loom to hold it there until I need it. But what we do, so I'll just use the rainbow loom hook. Whatever color you want for your holly leaf, you're going to take a band, put it on your hook, wrap it around 1 time, grab both bands, wrap them around again, take another band, double it on the end of your hook, pull it through what's already on your hook, and put both bands back on, or put the band back on. So you have this. We need to do that 3 more times. So 1 band, wrap it around once, grab both of them, wrap it around again, take another band, double it, pull it through that wrapped band, both ends on the hook. So now I have 2 of them. 1 more time, or 2 more times. Pull it through. So now I have 3. Do 1 more. Put the band on, wrap it around, grab both bands, wrap it around again. Take another band, double it. It's a little squishy at the end right here. Pull it through. Both ends back on. So there are 4 of those little leaves on there. So you take another band on the end of your hook, double it, and you're going to pull it through the first 3 of the leaves. So 1, 2, and 3, and put it back on the hook. That's kind of our little point end. Then you should still have 1 left already on the hook. So squish that down. Another band on the hook, wrap it around 1 time, double it, take another band on the hook, double it, pull it through bands we just put on. Get off. There we go. Back on the hook. So now you have the little single one, the 3 one, and then the single one again. And you'll take another band, double it on the end of your hook, and pull it through everything that's on your hook. Then go ahead and put that back on. So that would be your first leaf. You would need to do that again. So you have 2 of them, and just store the other one on your loom. So then you'd make another one, and that one leave on your hook. And you just grab this other leaf on your hook, like that. And then go ahead and take, you can use a band or 2, it's up to you, but take it, pull it through what's on your hook, and then do a slip knot. So you just connected them together for a little holly leaf. Just like that. And then we want to make our little berries. I'm going to make mine burgundy this time. I made the berries by taking 2 bands on the hook, double them into, it's kind of a messy figure 8, but squish them together, take all 4 bands, flip them again, 1 band, double it, pull it through what's on your hook, back on. So that's 1, and I want to make 2 more just like that. So 2 bands, wrap around 1 time, grab all of them, wrap them around again, 1 band, doubled, pull through, back on the hook, then 2 bands again, wrap 1 time, grab all of them, wrap them again, then another band, doubled, pull them through, on the hook. So now I have 3 of those little balls or little berries. Then I'll take another band, and I'll just pull it through everything on my hook. And then on the hook, then make a slip knot. Like that. Then what I do is I take my holly leaf, find the center of that single band that I wrapped around, then grab the tail on my berries, pull that through. So then I have the 2 tail bands from the holly berries and the holly leaves. Stretch them out, and I'll slide them up the candy cane to kind of wherever I think they would look good, like so. So he has a cute little bow tie, or however you want to call it. If you have any that, I know I said I'm not too worried about most of them. If you have any like really big ones that bother you for the little transition rows, you can just tuck them back in so they aren't, so you can't see them. Like I said, I think that it looks pretty good. The colors are close enough together, and you're kind of expected to see them with your eye, so you're not like looking for that change. So I think it turned out super cute. I hope you think so too. That'll go great for my Christmas ornaments and on the tree and such. I just have to remember to put the face on the wrong, or on the opposite side when I do one, so that I can have them like this too. But I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I definitely appreciate it. I hope you enjoy these cute little candy canes. Well, maybe not quite so little, but this was the best shape and size for them to get this cute look. So I love them. But if you make any of these, I'd love to have you share them with me on my Instagram, which is at Crafting Fantastic, or on my Facebook page, which is feelinspiffy or Crafting Fantastic. And then, of course, if you subscribe to my channel, you'll know when I come out with new, more amazing things. The holly leaves and berries, I'm sure you can use on many of the other designs as well as little add-ons too, so keep that in mind as well. But again, I just want to thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoy these, and I will have more for you soon.